Time to put somebody on blast. Randy Fine is the perfect example of what scum is in physical form. He's currently the member of the Florida Senate from the 19th District, and he's the Republican nominee in the Florida's, I think, 6th congressional district. And he's basically a paid Israeli lobbyist. In fact, Randy Fine has the Israeli flag hanging in his office. And imagine now, you know, we we could have any number of countries flying in somebody's office, but if the Israeli flag is the only foreign flag you have in your office, you damn well know who this guy serves, even though he's a U.S. senator, right? But what I want to do is I want to play a video for you of what he had said today. And what he said today basically some pause because this could lead to a very outwardly dangerous form of inverted fascism that we're seeing in certain parts of the country. Now, this was earlier on today. Take a listen.
Holding people accountable without, violating their free speech.
Sure. And again, I would remind you that there's no First Amendment right to conduct. There's a First Amendment right to speech, and the things that we're targeting in the bill are not speech. Again, if someone wants to stand across the street from my house and wave a sign on the sidewalk, they have every right to do that, and this bill won't have anything to do with that. But when it veers into conduct, and so the way we're going to approach this is through a hate crime kicker. So if you graffiti a building, it is a crime now. But if your motivation is hate, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in prison. If you want to litter, it's a crime right now. But if you litter and your motivation is a hate crime, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in jail. It is a crime right now to hang banners from an interstate. For obvious reasons, we don't want to distract drivers. But if you do that and you have a hate crime, a hate motivation, it will be a third-degree felony. You will spend 5 years in jail.
So basically, what he's trying to do is dissuade people from speaking out against the Israeli assault on the defenseless Gazan people. And he said so as much. Now, look, he didn't say it right out loud here. But let's take a look at the code of conduct this guy has. Now, these are tweets he made in the past 6 months, right? Here he is here. He's Senator Randy Fine now, but this is Representative Randy Fine. There is no suffering adequate for these animals. May the streets of Gaza overflow with blood. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had some really reprehensible senators, congressional officials, even those in the intelligence services, use social media and make themselves look the fool. But nothing, as I've seen, not even from Tom Cotton or Lindsey Graham, this guy's the most vile. This is a senator, an elected official of government, a government for the people, by the people. And he's saying this. Now, his constituents in the 6th district in Florida have to be basically at odds with this. Or do they majorly support them? Because he's won the last 4 elections. May the streets of Gaza overflow with blood. I mean, this guy is a ghoul. And look how he uses dehumanizing words here. Animals. Who? It doesn't say Hamas. May the streets of Gaza overflow with blood. I mean, this guy it's unparalleled. I've never seen anything like this before. Right? Here's another one. Someone posted this picture of a baby, right? How do you sleep at night? Right? This is just a post. And this fucker, look at he writes. Quite well, actually. Thanks for the pick. Thanks for the pick. Here's another one. Kill them all. No mercy, bombs away. One thing I said in previous videos, The Republicans will come right out and say it. The Democrats are a lot more subtle, smarter. They'll basically say, we're doing everything we can to stop the bloodshed, but we need Hamas to surrender. In other words, kill them all. Their actions speak louder than words, right? The Biden administration, this is where it all happened under. And then you get this guy that basically comes right out because Trump is president. Kill them all. I'm not done. He got subjected to X's rules against violence. Gaza must be destroyed. Not Hamas, not the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, not jihadism, Gaza, meaning everybody. This man is a racist. He's a monster. And if we don't stop this now, if the District of Florida, the 6th District, don't stop this now, the 33rd and 6th districts, this is what we ran from. If you don't stop this now, this is going to be worse than him. Now, I always said, if you want to look at what we will turn into, just look at Israel, right? Look at the governments under them. Now, at one point, we had Ehud Barak, who we all thought was bad. Ariel Sharon, one of the worst, right? Then came along Benjamin Netanyahu. And what he did was, after all those years, where they were never fined, where they were never held under sanctions, where they never were before the international criminal courts for their war crimes, that only let them become worse and worse over time. So Netanyahu wins the election for the 6th time as prime minister. And what does he do? I'm going to get the worst, most racist cabinet that Israel ever had. And not only that, I'm not just going to invite Zionists. I'm going to invite religious Zionists, members of the terrorist group, the Jewish Task Force, right? Jewish Defense League. Under then the late predecessor, Rabbi Meir Kahane, who Israel deemed a terrorist. That's who's now serving in government with him. And these people are worse than him. People like Ben Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich and Yosef Stroop, right? These people come right out and say, we just got to kill everybody. Men, women, children, doesn't matter. Netanyahu won't say that. He'll allude to it. But the people that are coming after him are worse, just like with Trump. The people under Trump, I'm not worried about. He's a monster, just like Biden was a monster. But it's the people under him, these religious, like monsters, from the Heritage Foundation, the American Enterprise Institute, the Hagee Foundation. You know, these are the people that really think they have God on their side. The Democrats don't believe in any of this. They're just a bunch of billionaire class donors with connections to the military-industrial complex and the Department of Defense. But these people also have connection with them, but they also have a subgroup. And these subgroups are basically just like this religious extremists that see Islam as the enemy. And you can see there's more Islamophobia than ever before, since the Obama administration or the Bush administration. You couldn't tell the difference between Obama and Bush. It was like same thing. That's why I don't believe in this left and right paradigm. Never. Doesn't exist. Randy Fine. Randy Fine deserves to be investigated by the U.S. Senate or the House. There has to be a congressional investigation into Randy Fine and his conduct as a state senator. How is this guy allowed to just basically make a mockery, laugh at the deaths of children, make a mockery of the people that are dead, and do it in viral media without having any reprisal, any type of investigation into his conduct? Remember, he's representing the government, but when you have a government that's being sold out by the Israeli lobby anyway, why would they investigate one of their own? And he gets paid, I think, well over $160,000 a year by the American Israeli Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC. It's a lot of money. And he'll get more as he becomes more and more vocal. But for those in Florida who are watching this video, I mean, God's sakes, man, think of your humanity here. This guy's a monster, and he doesn't deserve to be a representative of the people. He doesn't represent me. I'm against all government. I'm anti-government. But for people like him, if you're going to keep this system, at least keep it cleaner. This guy doesn't deserve anywhere near in a position of power. And you could see that he's willing to basically give out 5-year sentences to people that are protesting against a war that are killing civilians if they manage to just basically litter on the street or they put up a banner. Imagine what laws they'll be coming up with next. And for those who are supporting Randy Fine, I made a video about that too. Like what I think the dangers of what's going to happen in the future. And soon enough, I'll do another video which much more clear. I say to you, and like I said in those videos, you're not safe. You're next. Because soon, if they're in dominance in power and they eliminate any type of opposition, what they're going to say is you're not Republican enough. In other words, you're not like us. Until that circle gets smaller and smaller, and that group gets smaller and smaller, until there's only 2 people left, and they're both holding a gun against each other. Because that person is not Republican enough. Until there's nobody standing. And that's what evil will end up doing. Because nobody can survive evil. It will destroy you within. All right, thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.